2000, I'm back at you with another video. Yes, welcome back to Leslie Chambers Kaiju Reviews on behalf of Summit Kaiju and on behalf of Collect All Monsters. And as promised, I'm bringing you another Toho Special Effects Movies Authentic Visual Book Review. And you already clicked the title, so you already know who we're talking about. This devastating duo from the awesome film that closed out the Showa Godzilla film series, Mechagodzilla. So without further ado, let's dive headfirst in this double book review. Yes. And the first book that we're going to dive into is volume number 27 of the super dinosaur, super aquatic dinosaur himself, Titanosaurus, as well as his main tag team partner from this awesome film, volume number 41. Of course, I'm talking about the devastating war machine making his reappearance, 1975's Mechagodzilla. And as you can see, I have the beautiful books here. Yes. And they are awesome. Yes, these two books devoted to one of the most devastating tag teams in all of tokusatsu history. So I'm super excited to bring you this double book review. Yes. Now, of course, you know, the backstory with these books, I kind of went into it in my last book review, or my first book review, really, of Gabber and Hedra in the archives in the channel. Please check it out. But these books are available from the Godzilla store in Japan, and they offer pristine, just great, crisp, really clear photos of a particular kaiju. You see what I'm saying? And they have done so many kaiju thus far. You know what I'm saying? With Titanosaurus, Mechagodzilla 75 and 74, King Caesar 74, Godzilla 74, Godzilla 91, King Ghidorah 91, the Gargantuous, Gigan, Jet Jaguar, Megalon, 62 Godzilla, 54, 55 Godzilla, the 64. They have done an assortment of kaiju. Great kaiju with these books, you know what I mean? And these are awesome books. They really are awesome books. They offer never been seen photos and photos you may have seen before, but they're like in the best quality possible when it comes to these books. And as I said before many times, these are a great investment, especially if you're a book person or if you're just a kaiju fan in general. These are highly worth your while. Trust me when I say that. So, without further ado, let's dive headfirst into this review. Now, what I did with the last video, what I've done was take out 3 random pictures of a particular book and just give you my thoughts and narration behind a particular photo. I don't want to show you the whole book, because the purpose of these videos is to sell you on getting these books. So as I said, I'm going to take 3 random photos from these books and just give you like a little narration to try to convince you to go after these books, because as I said, they're really worth the investment. So let's start first with Titanosaurus. I love Titanosaurus, you know what I'm saying? He's one of my most favorite kaiju. Just love him so much. I can go on and on about him. But you know what? Let's dive here first into his book and let's go with the first photograph, which is this. And as you can see, you have 2 color clear photos of Titanosaurus, a behind the scenes photo of the suit and of the suit when it's on, you know, the set, you know what I mean? And I just love Titanosaurus as a kaiju, his suit design, his roar, everything about this monster I thoroughly enjoy. And it's kind of funny when you think about Titanosaurus, considering that he came in an era, you know, the 70s Godzilla films, where you had pollution monsters, mechanized war machines, giant beetle guys, a cyborg space chicken, you know what I'm saying? A dog lion god, you know what I'm saying? They had really more eccentric kaiju to come out in the 70s. So with Titanosaurus being somewhat of more so of a normal monster, or at least a normal dinosaurian monster, you know, he probably could have fit more in, or at least fit better in with the 60s kaiju, you know, with Godzilla, Rodan, Baragon, who else? Anguirus, you know what I mean? But for him, and especially being part of the last Godzilla film from this awesome era, for him to be just a really normal kaiju in terms of what he can do, because trust me, Titanosaurus is far from normal. Don't get that twisted. But I like how in this film, they not only brought Godzilla back, Mechagodzilla, but they brought back, you know, a dinosaurian monster that a lot of us dinosaur fans really love. So that's what I love most about Titanosaurus, you know what I mean? So I just love this design. I love the suit, as I said. And as you can see in these photographs, they've done a great job of capturing, you know, this suit. It really is awesome. So now let's go with the next photo. And yeah, so many great things that happen in this photo as well as in this scene here. Of course, you see Titanosaurus, and of course, the king of the monsters himself, Godzilla, making his first time appearance in this film. Aside from him appearing in the opening credits of the film, this is Godzilla's first major appearance in the film. 48 minutes into this movie, and Godzilla finally makes his arrival into this film. And of course, with this awesome photograph depicting such a great scene, even though it's a brief scene, you know, the little sparring match between Titanosaurus and Godzilla, you know, it offers, you know, the first Kaiju attack, you know, in the film with Titanosaurus attacking Tokyo, Godzilla coming in to stop him. And it's so awesome seeing Titanosaurus and Godzilla here. You kind of forget that it's actually a Mechagodzilla movie. You know what I'm saying? That's how awesome this scene is. Now, even though it's brief, I think a lot of people are wondering why couldn't they have had them fight more? And I believe the reason why they just traded off one blow to each other is the fact that Godzilla was facing off against two monsters in this film. He didn't have backup as he did in the previous films. You see what I'm saying? So for him to go toe-to-toe with Titanosaurus, where one wouldn't have the advantage over the other one, it wouldn't have been dramatic. It would have been a foregone conclusion that Godzilla was going to lose once Mechagodzilla came into the fray. On the other side of the coin, if Godzilla single-handedly beats down Titanosaurus, then he would be much of a tag team partner for Mechagodzilla later on. So it served a purpose. It served a purpose where it protected both monsters for what was later on to come. But as you can see in this photograph here, such an awesome scene. The awesome attack scene is awesome, you know what I mean? You know, the entrance of Godzilla, which I maintain to this day is one of the best entrances of Godzilla in the Godzilla film. So much awesomeness in this one photograph. Yes, yes, yes. So let's go with the final photograph. And yes, as you can see here, he's alongside his tag team partner himself, Mechagodzilla 1975. And as relates to tag teams, you see what I'm saying? My favorite tag team of all time, ironically, is not Godzilla, or doesn't involve Godzilla. You would think, with me being a Godzilla fan, I would love Godzilla Rodan, maybe Godzilla Anguirus, Godzilla Jet Jaguar. But quite frankly, my favorite tag team of all time is Gigan and King Ghidorah. You see what I'm saying? But it's something about this tag team that I just love so much. It's probably number 2 behind Gigan and King Ghidorah for me, for like favorite tag teams. Just seeing these two together, you know what I'm saying? Even though they may not have the chemistry like Gigan and Megalon did, it's still awesome seeing these two together, just destroying the city, fighting Godzilla, you know what I'm saying? It's just something about these two I just gravitate to. I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to this tag team, I just love this tag team so much. And I pose a question to a lot of folks out there. Which tag team do you find more devastating when it came to the 70s as far as like the villains? Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla, or Gigan and King Ghidorah? Why don't you pop down in the comment section and let me know. But with this photograph, you see these two just awesome monsters ready to destroy the world, ready to destroy Godzilla all at the same time. And it's just awesome, you know what I'm saying? But as you can see here, this is such a great, great book devoted to Titanosaurus. I just gave you a small snippet of what you're in store for if you go after this book. So if you are a huge fan of this movie, if you're a huge fan of Titanosaurus, please do not hesitate to go after this book. Volume number 27, devoted to the super dinosaur himself, Titanosaurus. So now let's go to the next book. Yes, the main kaiju of this film of Mechagodzilla. And we're talking about volume number 41 with 1975's Mechagodzilla. Once again, let me just say this. I love Mechagodzilla. I love all his incarnations, maybe except for the anime. You can't blame me for that, right? But pretty much I love every single incarnation of Mechagodzilla, whether it's the Showa, the Heisei, Kiryu, you see what I'm saying? But I love the Showa version the most. As a matter of fact, I love the performance of 74, but I love the overall look of 75. For me, my dream Mechagodzilla is to combine the performance of 74 with 75 to create the ultimate Mechagodzilla. But that's neither here nor there. Once again, this is such a great kaiju, since he made such a big impression, an awesome, devastating impression in 1974's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. They decided to bring him back in this awesome sequel to Terror Mechagodzilla. So without further ado, let's dive headfirst into his book with this first photograph right here. And as you can see, you see two great photographs of Mechagodzilla, color photo as well as a black and white photo. And as I mentioned in my Gabber and Hedra book, these books not only offer pleasure as far as like, you know, just looking at them and just viewing them or whatever, but they're also a great reference tool for people who want to make model kits of these kaiju or whatever, or if you want to make like a cosplay costume of these kaiju. This is an awesome reference too, because they pretty much capture the suit or the kaiju itself from virtually every angle, so you can use this, as I said, as a tool for any one of those options. And as you can see here, Mechagodzilla is awesome. You know what I'm saying? There is some subtle differences between this version of Mechagodzilla and the previous one, but if you had to pin me down and ask me which one do I love more, even though I'm not really high up on his performance in this film, I just prefer 75. I love the look of 75. And to me, he looks far more sinister as he did in the previous film. You know what I'm saying? And that version already looked sinister. But you know what? That's kind of like a thing with me, where I like the second coming of a monster, at least the look of the monster, more so than the previous version. Like, I love the 66 Godzilla more so than 65. I love the 91 Godzilla more so than the 89. I love the 2003 Godzilla more so than the 2002. You see what I'm saying? So there are situations where I like the second coming of a monster more so than the first one, and this one, you know, it goes along with that. You see what I'm saying? But as you can see here, you know, with the photographs, that's why Mechagodzilla has somewhat of a darker sense to look in this film. Because remember, after he got destroyed at the end of the previous film, his remains were scattered throughout the bottom of the ocean. And since this film basically takes place almost a year after the events of that film, you can tell that maybe the metal in the ocean made it darker, made it more grungy or whatever. Because they reused, basically the aliens reused the same parts to rebuild Mechagodzilla. That's why the suit has more of a dirty look, you know what I'm saying? And it adds more realism, and it's kind of like somewhat of a moderate nod to what happened in the previous film. But once again, I just love the look of Mechagodzilla better in this film overall. He's just awesome. Just an awesome, just devastating war machine that's ready to destroy the world and Godzilla. So without further ado, let's go with the second photograph. And look at this. Oh my God, look at this photograph. Just look at it. Of course, you see Mechagodzilla and Titanosaurus in a devastated part of Tokyo, after Mechagodzilla has just devastated a neighborhood with his weapons, his eye beams or whatever, and we see Titanosaurus bent over like he's twerking. That's what he's doing. He's twerking, and he just shakes his tail to create that windstorm. And it's funny because look at Mechagodzilla. He's looking right at Titanosaurus. Mechagodzilla is like saying to himself, dude, I just devastated a whole neighborhood. And you mean to tell me that your devastating power is to make a windstorm by twisting your butt around? Oh man, that's awesome. Look at Mechagodzilla. If he could talk, I guarantee you that's what he would say. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, remember that scene when Mechagodzilla destroys that part of Tokyo before they advance into the other parts of Tokyo? Titanosaurus steps forward and he does that Mortal Kombat gesture like he's about to break out a superpower, and you think he may blow out fire or electricity bolts or something, but he just turns around and starts twerking to create a windstorm. And Mechagodzilla look says it all right there. Even though Mechagodzilla doesn't really have any pronounced facial expression, but you can tell. Just look at this photograph. You can just tell Mechagodzilla looking at him like, okay, I've seen better. But that's what I think about when it comes to this photograph. You know what I mean? Oh man, you got a little Showa series. So let's go with the last photograph. This photograph right here. And yes, all three principal monsters. Yes, Titanosaurus, Mechagodzilla, and of course Godzilla. And as you can see, the two big behemoths, the two evil villains, got Godzilla on the dumps. You know what I'm saying? But look, don't let this photograph fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Godzilla comes back to beat down both of them, as a matter of fact. But this photograph just shows what uphill battle Godzilla had to climb in this film. You see what I'm saying? That's one thing that I will praise the 70s films for. As a matter of fact, it's my favorite era of Godzilla films. Yes, more so than the 60s, more so than the Heisei, more so than the Monsterverse. I just love the overall 70s films. And one of the main reasons why I do love the 70s films is that every single film, maybe with the exception of Megalon, every single film put Godzilla in a precarious situation where you didn't really know how he was going to prevail or if he was going to win or not. Hedra did that. Gigan did that. The two Mechagodzilla films did that. You see what I'm saying? And I praise the 70s films for doing that. Because with the 60s films, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Godzilla was going to win no matter what. And that's fine because we all love Godzilla. But every now and then you want to spice it up spice it up a little bit. You want to make it more dramatic. So that's why I love the 70s films for not only presenting Godzilla those uphill options, but presenting us with kaiju that could potentially beat him or defeat him. But by hook or crook, Godzilla comes out to save the day and to save the world and rise above it throughout it all. But he had to earn his victory in this film. You see what I'm saying? He had to earn his victory. And when he goes off into the sunset, you can tell he was like, boy, I deserve a 10-year break. More on that later. But once again, this is such a great book devoted to Mechagodzilla. You see what I'm saying? Both books are awesome. Titanosaurus, Mechagodzilla, as I said earlier with Titanosaurus. If you're a huge fan of this film, if you're a huge fan of these monsters, please do not hesitate to go after these books. Volume 27 devoted to Titanosaurus, and volume number 41 devoted to Mechagodzilla. Yes, yes, yes. So that pretty much concludes my review of the Toho Special Effects Movies Authentic Visual Books dedicated to volume number 27, the super aquatic dinosaur himself, Titanosaurus, as well as volume number 41, the devastating war machine making his reappearance in 1975, Terror Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla 1975. Yes, yes, yes. You have any questions, holler me down in the comment section. Hit me on Facebook via Leslie P. Chambers. We'll definitely go from there. Yes, once again, these are great, 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 great books. I don't know how many times I've said this during the course of this video, but they are. I'm really trying to convince y'all to go after these books because these are awesome books. Yes, they are. As I mentioned earlier, if you're a huge fan of Titanosaurus, if you're a huge fan of Mechagodzilla from this film, or if you're just a huge fan of this film in general, please go after these books. You will not be disappointed. And as it stands right now, Godzilla 1975 is the only book not made from this film. But trust me, if they made Titanosaurus and if they made Mechagodzilla, at some point you gotta know and believe that 1975 Godzilla will be on his way. And I can't wait to add him to my collection as well. Now, a few things I want to talk about as regards to these books before I get out of here is number one is this. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can get these books from the Godzilla store in Japan. The thing is, their website is in Japanese. So if you can navigate the site yourself, please do so. Because these books are like $11 to $12, you know, from the store. You see what I'm saying? So if you can navigate the site yourself, or if you can find like a middleman to help you navigate through the site yourself, that way you can pay more so to the store's prices versus going on eBay and paying those inflated prices, I highly suggest you do that. You see what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the EMS shipping situation in Japan is kind of leaving things in limbo when it comes to us collectors getting packages from Japan, because there are so few flights coming from Japan that a lot of our packages are kind of like stuck in limbo over there. But you know what? I have a solution to that problem. And that solution is this. My great friends over at the other YouTube channel, Kaiju Live, headed by my good friend AJ Russo, his wife Kelly, AJ's super awesome father Frank. You know, they have a YouTube auction show pretty much every Sunday night where they auction off great kaiju collectibles for great prices. And they have a store. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below, but their store offer these books for $19.50 a piece. You can't beat that. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it's a little bit expensive, not expensive, but it's a little bit more than the actual price of the books in Japan, but you still can't get any better than that, because on eBay they're like $25, $35, $40 for a book. But AJ is offering these books for $19.50 a piece, and he has a whole assortment of them. So please go on his website and check out what he got, and please partake into his books and to his service. He offers great, excellent service. You know what I mean? He offers a great selection of the books. So please, without further ado, please go to his website. Please get your hand on these books. You will not be disappointed. Now, what's coming up next in regards to more books coming out, far as like what's coming out, should be at the time of recording, since it's like the second day in May, right? At the time of recording, it should be coming out real soon. They got 2 books coming out. One devoted to Matango, you know, the creepy mushroom flick, you know what I'm saying, from Toho. And they got one devoted to the Frankenstein's monster from Toho's Frankenstein Conquers the World. So I can't wait to get my hands on that, because I love me some Toho Frankenstein. And we just got word a couple weeks ago, courtesy of Kaiju Battle. Go to his website, awesome guy Michael Farrell. Yes, yes, yes. And we got word that 2 more books are coming in June. And I believe one is for Batra. One is for Batra, and the other one is from the 1994 Godzilla himself, from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. So please be on the lookout for those books coming in the next couple months. The last thing I want to talk about in regards to these books, in my previous video regarding these books, I've done Gabra and Hedra. In this video, I'm doing Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla 1975. But as you notice, I have not covered anything regarding Godzilla himself. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? All that changes come to the next video regarding these books. You know what? And since I'm on 1975's Terror Mechagodzilla, you know what? I'm going to travel 16 years into the future and cover the kaiju in that film and do the math on that, and you know which film I'm talking about. But in the meantime, please get your hands on these books. You will not be disappointed. Once again, go to the Kaiju Live store and get your hands on these books. You see what I'm saying? They have done, like I said, assortment of kaiju with Titanosaurus, Mechagodzilla 75 and 74, Space Godzilla, Biolante, Godzilla 54, 55, 62, 64, 74, 67, 84, 89, 93, 95, 1999, GMK 2004, Shin Godzilla, as well as Gigan, Jet Jaguar, Megalon, the Gargantuous. They have done so many different kaiju, and trust me, if you're a fan of any one of these kaiju, trust me, they have got the book for you. And go on Kaiju Live to get that book. You will not be disappointed. And in the meantime, get these books in particular. You will not be disappointed. If anything else, you can see the book where you see Mechagodzilla disgusted at Titanosaurus twerking. All right, that's it. I'm done. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see y'all again on this figure move review. All right? Y'all take it easy.